When Cherry Blossoms Whisper. Volume 4, Winter's Frozen Tears. Chapter 11. Graduation Goodbyes. Snow fell like drifting petals outside the classroom window, blanketing the school grounds in a soft hush. The air was thick with anticipation. Laughter and farewells echoed through the halls as students in pressed uniforms exchanged yearbooks, hugs, and promises they wouldn't keep. But Haruto's desk sat empty. He wasn't in the classroom, wasn't lining up with the others for the final ceremony. Instead, he stood alone beneath the old cherry tree behind the school, the one where Sakura once told him, "Some things are too beautiful to put into words." His sketchbook lay open on the bench beside him, charcoal smudged across his fingers as he traced the delicate lines of the tree's branches. The blossoms hadn't bloomed yet. It was too early, too cold. But in his mind, he could see them. Pale pink, trembling in the breeze, blooming out of season like the feelings he'd tried for so long to bury. Each stroke on the page was a memory. Her hair brushing his shoulder on the rooftop, her hand in his during the beachside fireworks. The tremble in her voice when she whispered, "I'm scared of staying." He was scared too. But this sketch was no longer about fear. It was about remembering. About hoping. Inside the auditorium, the final names were called. Applause rang out, but the seat beside Yui remained vacant. She clutched her program tightly, her eyes darting occasionally toward the doors, but she knew he wouldn't come. Not when Sakura wasn't here. The ceremony ended. Ribbons were thrown. Confetti fluttered down like frozen petals. Yet Yui stayed seated, her expression unreadable. Outside, Haruto closed his sketchbook and let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Missed your own graduation?" Yui's voice was quiet behind him. He turned to see her standing there in her uniform, her coat dusted with snow. Her usual sharp confidence was dimmed, but her eyes held a strange tenderness. "She's leaving tomorrow," Yui said. "Morning flight. International terminal." "You have," her voice cracked slightly, "less than 24 hours. Haruto's eyes widened, the breath knocked from his lungs. "You knew." "She didn't want to tell anyone. Said it would be easier that way. But I knew. I've always known." Yui looked away. "And I was cruel. I told her to follow her dream when I didn't have one of my own." Haruto stepped closer, the silence between them stretching like thin ice. "You're not the only one who's been alone," Yui whispered. "But you still have a chance to change things. Go." He nodded. There was no time to waste. As he sprinted out of the school gate, the snow began to fall faster, stinging his face, melting on his skin. He reached the edge of the parking lot, breathless, and paused. Until he heard the unmistakable roar of an engine. "Kaido." Grinning behind the handle of his battered scooter, scarf flapping in the wind like a flag of mischief, Kaido waved. "About time, Picasso. Hop on." Haruto didn't ask questions. He jumped on, and the scooter took off with a screech, racing through the slush and fading light, carving a trail of urgency through the winter gloom. They didn't speak. There was no need. The wind screamed past them, and all Haruto could think was that he had to reach her. That he had to find her. That he had to say what he should have said long ago. They rounded a corner too fast. The tires slipped. The scooter crashed. And everything went white. But even as pain shot through his arm and snow soaked into his jacket, Haruto scrambled to his feet. Kaido, groaning, waved him on. "Go, idiot. Go." Haruto ran. The airport lights glowed in the distance like the warmth of a fading dream. And inside, somewhere, was the girl he loved. Boarding a plane, carrying a heart full of poems and a farewell she never wanted to give. Thanks for watching our video. If you find this video interesting, then please subscribe our YouTube channel. If you're watching this video from TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, then follow our page for more contents like this.